This content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Goren Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
Boom. What's up, guys?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Actually, let's do the proper thing. What's up, guys? This is DGB show number 93, unless Zuda comes on and corrects us and tells us what number it actually is. He might. You never know. If you're an early stage startup, if you're interested in investing in early stage startups in and around the blockchain space, go to dgb.vc, sign up for the newsletter, join us every week here. We love to be early. We love to be the first investor in a company. We help incubate and accelerate companies at their earliest stages. So come join us. I'm jumping into my Twitter right now, or X right now, to hit the retweet button. Can one of you guys? I'm somehow logged out of the DGB account. One of you guys go and
yeah, I'm on it right now.
On the Twitter?
Wow.
Yeah, on Twitter. I'll do it right
now.
I stood on LinkedIn.
Sweet. How's everyone doing?
It's a good week. It's a good week.
I have my kids home from school. Today's a day off of school here. There's a holiday. I was watching some K-pop Demon Hunters in between my first meeting and this.
There you go.
Now, are you learning the dance, though? The dance moves?
Not yet. First, I haven't watched the whole movie all the way through yet, but I've heard the songs lots of times. This is my first time going through the movie. My daughter was a little annoyed that I had to pause to do this.
Yeah, if you need consulting, my daughter can teach you to do the moves on how to do the moves.
All right, I'll let her know if she wants a dance partner. We could set up a Zoom call. Nate, you listen to any K-pop Demon Hunters songs?
That is a negative. It's a negative. Now my younger sister, yes, they love that. Yeah, they love that. Yeah.
Nice. It's okay. it's not, it's not an AI David Rankin Bitcoin song, but it's pretty good.
That's all I listen to these days.
They're saying though more of that type of content with the trend of all the streaming is going to be where we're going. And it kind of seems like that is where we're going with it. Yeah.
Think about like just regular musical shows, right? Either like movies that were musicals or TV shows that had music and things like that. It's always been a thing, and it's a way to get distribution. But like, there's so much music being churned out because for the longest time, it just got easier and easier and easier for independent people to put out music and get it heard by people. But then now with AI music, there's just so much music being flooded in that you have to do something to differentiate yourself.
Well, and it's amazing because like there's K-pop Demon Hunters, right? They're really high up on the list right now, but it's just a cartoon like music band, right? Where
just
AI,
a cartoon music band.
Well, okay, no, maybe sorry, not just one. But the thing is,
demons fighting K-pop anime.
Okay, so it's cool. Sure. Okay, so you bought into the Kool-Aid. But the thing is we're gonna see more of this stuff with like prolific AI bands and stuff like that. And so like next week on the show, we're having Calypto.
Oh, Calypto is on next week.
Calypto's scheduled awesome. On next
okay,
week,
so here's and here's the crazy thing. They are, we'll let them speak for themselves next week and stuff, but they're creating AI artists and bands that are like next level, high quality stuff, right? And if any band like came into existence, like we started a band and then next week we put out 20 songs on an album or 15 songs on an album, whatever. If we got 1 million streams in 1 month, it would be a breakout hit, right? Like it'd be like, holy shit, first album out by this rad band we got on stage right now. 1 million hits. That would be crazy. That would be like, oh shit, we got to throw gasoline on this fire and whatever. They have artists that they're doing that with now. They're doing millions of streams a month now across their artists, but like one group in particular, boom, hit well over 1 million in their first month. That's crazy. So that'll be
reduce costs too. Way less money being spent on it, in order to get there. Yeah.
Way less money being spent. The people who put together music own 100% of the rights, not just a portion. There isn't all of the extra stuff that goes along with it. So think like Gorillas, right? They created a band, but there was the cartoon was the band, right? So they could all be a bunch of goofy looking old men and still be cool, right? I don't think they actually are. They seem like cool dudes if I remember correctly. But I'm just saying, like, you could do anything. And the same thing with this K-pop thing, like, who knows? Is it really 3 or 4 voice actors, or is it like a whole team of people and whatever? Who owns the songs? Who owns the rights? It's just like somebody who is an actor. Can they go on tour? Will they go on tour? Probably. Be pretty stupid if they didn't, right?
Yeah.
The beauty of it is they could have a different group of women touring at the same time in every continent singing their songs, right?
Yeah. I think we're seeing the shift right now, and it's still super early. But I think where it's really going to be beneficial is on the sync and licensing side, because you're not even going to notice that something is AI orientated around. You're just going to hear it on a show. You're going to hear it on a commercial. And it's just going to be a part of what you go ahead and engage with.
I feel like every time we talk about this, I just feel like there has to be the opposite end of the spectrum, right? And I know I'm weird because I like the weird punk rock shit. I like bands that sound like the sound quality is kind of shit. Like, it's almost when a band is too produced and good, I don't like it.
It's not real,
right? It's not real. And I think that we need to find something, because I think that what Calypto is doing is going to change the world, and it is the future, and we got to do it. But we also have to do, like, we talked about this with Coop, right? Some kind of like non-profit record label, some kind of something, but it doesn't even have to be that. But I'm just saying, like, somehow supporting humans who are making the more weird human art, right? Like, I think there has to be, because we talk about it every time with AI, but if AI really does its job and takes away all these jobs and things and lets Rankin and I hang out at the beach all day, what's everyone going to do? Like, what's our purpose?
I've got this whole idea.
Okay.
We're going to call them NFTs.
I knew you were going to go there. I was waiting for it. I knew you were going to go there. Oh, hold on. I feel like you set him up to
Kevin's not here, but Kevin's kind of here. Right. I don't know. It's the only thing that sounded like only image I have here that's kind of like negative. I don't know. Okay, how are NFTs gonna solve the problem for human artists?
Well, I mean, there was the idea of royalties, but I think that went out the window. But I don't know.
Royalties? No, I think there will be better accounting, better things like that. And honestly, there has to be better accounting for all of the automated stuff, because it's not fair, right? The way
I'm still a fan of NFTs. Yeah. I still buy NFTs. I bought NFTs this week. I bought NFTs last week. OpenSea's helping in addition.
I think the thing that people don't think about is Emilio. I think one of the things people don't account for and think about is when it comes to NFTs, it's kind of like your trading card groups, right? people have always had an interest in trading cards, not the general, but I'm saying there's always subgroups of, you have the subgroups that were really into Pokemon, they're really into Yu-Gi-Oh, they're really into baseball cards, they're really into NFL cards, right? So you have these kind of subgroup and niches, and I think people talk about it as if it's like everyone has to adopt it, right? Versus why not just have a lane there that is available for some of the people that want to go ahead and either monetize it or be a part of that community, right?
It'll happen in
Serious
waves.
collectors.
Yeah.
But I think that there's always going to be that, but then there will be a trend, and the idea of that the technology could fix a bunch of actual real problems is the beauty there, right? Like there is think about like the market for, I don't know if it really exists anymore actually, but I was going to say like the market for bootleg stuff. It kind of existed like for musicians before YouTube existed, but you could go to a record shop or a CD store. Like there was the one at, like, if I just think about
Radio
growing up,
Shack?
there was no. There were literally independent places. Like it couldn't be like Sam Goody or one of those places back in the day, because they had to be legit and legal. But there were stores like in Thousand Oaks, California. There was a place called CD Trader, and then there was a version of it in CB Valley. There was a version of it in the Valley, like somewhere on Ventura Boulevard. Like they had these all over the place. Like then there's like the bigger ones like Amoeba Music that still exist, but like all these music stores, right? And you could go into them, and through their bootleggy distributors, right? Like literally like people who literally were trading text files online, right? To go, what can you buy? You could buy a VHS tape that was like Bad Religion live at the Reseda Rec Center or whatever, 1985, right? Bad Religion didn't make a cent from that. That was literally the nerdiest, like some dude happened to make a video of it and then make copies of it and send it to all the places. You could buy it for $10. And I got a copy of it at my parents' house, right? I've got 20 versions of things like that at my parents' house, live at this place in Michigan when they came by and somebody recorded it. And there's a CD of it. Cool. And like that was a thing before YouTube existed and everything was like free like that. The bands that were smart probably didn't give a crap because it helped them, because their super fans got more content and made people want to go to their shows, and they spread around that content. People copied tapes and made mixtapes. I would visit my grandparents in Israel, and there was a store around the corner from their house that was like literally like as if somebody took a mop closet and that was the whole place, and it was a dude sitting on a desk with shelves behind him and drawers full of cassette tapes, and it was all mixtapes that dude just made all day long. Like, what kind of music are you into? Oh, you into hip hop? Have you ever heard of A Tribe Called Quest? And then gives you a mixtape of a thing. And then it's like, oh, you into techno music? I got these guys from Europe. And like that dude was the dude that just in that town that gave everybody their thing. And it sounds like nonsense craziness, but that's like what a Spotify playlist is today, right? People are the curators of the playlist.
I was that kid. I was that kid in junior high. So going to junior high, I had to walk by Warehouse Music every day.
Yeah.
And so every week, whenever I had some money, I would go buy the latest single. And at lunch in the quad area, they would play music. And so I was the guy who was always providing the singles to play during lunch at the quad.
Oh, dang. That's pretty cool.
And I just had this big thing of like singles of all these different songs.
Dude, imagine a whole school worth of kids being subjected to what David Rankin is forcing them to listen to.
No, I was just fine. Fine.
But I had to find a way to troll you.
Totally,
of course. Isn't that the value though of small businesses? And that's where I kind of push back on people that think AI is just going to take over so many different things and it's going to limit, because right now you see so many new ideas, you see so many new businesses, right? But I look at that as, isn't that also the value of small businesses is you can develop a product or develop a service or brick and mortar for something that is a niche within a niche, right? You have the niche of the community of the music, but then it's in a niche of Thousand Oaks, like what you were saying, Alon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that is the value of things,
that was also
from
the
a small
value
business side.
And that was the value of the internet at the earliest days when social media was hitting. You could be a punk rock band from Thousand Oaks, California, and you could get distribution around the world and have people discover you anywhere. And so in your town, there might only be 5 or 10 kids that like that kind of music. But now you find those 5 or 10 kids in every single town in the whole entire world. Right. And that was a crazy thing. But that also is why like Etsy and places like that became really important, because you could literally be like, I'm the dude who likes to knit hats. Like, I don't know. Right. And there's like, nobody wants a knit hat. Like, everyone would make fun of you. Right. Like, all your friends would be like, that's a stupid idea. Who's going to buy a knit hat? You can't do that for a living. But now, thanks to the internet, you'll find every single person in the world that wants a knit hat, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out something really random, but like that's the beauty of the internet. And I think that we're having another moment like that. Like, AI has the power. Like, I think that if you look at it from the bright side, it can have the power to be really, really cool. Who went out of business because, people were able to sell really niche products on the internet? Not really many people went out of business. It might have helped a lot of local businesses that went, oh my gosh, this small business that I have selling, beads to people who want to make, bracelets can now sell on the internet too. And and so, then things consolidate. Home Depot comes in and knocks all the local hardware stores out of business, and then it starts all over again, like we're doing now, I think. So now the really weird human skills that aren't that are uniquely human are probably going to be the things. So what kind of stuff is that? Maybe we'll all get into sports again, but in a more wholesome way. Like, maybe think about it. Like, what was that?
I still subject people to my music.
I know it's good.
Right?
And you should
push it on them.
No, but I'm thinking like I don't know. I
just don't do the sports.
I grew up, my dad would go and play soccer every Sunday with the old men. And it was like a thing. It was like a league and this whole thing. My brother does a version of that now. But is it a thing that, like, do people still go play softball? Like I remember, like, that was a thing growing up. Like, parents would play and things like that. Like, is that a thing? Like, or did we all start working 24 hours and not as many people doing that anymore? And maybe that'll be a thing that crops back up, because we should be gaining more time back as humans, right? Instead of filling it in with more work to do.
The 3-hour work week, right? That's not what they're talking about.
I kind of want that.
The 3-day work week. They want to go to like a 3-day work week. Some people
talk 3-day one. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, why stop at 3?
Well, think of
I'm telling you, the 1 hour work week.
Think of the deflation. Right. They want deflation. Like, there's too much. Everything's too high. So what we do is we just give everybody less money, deflate everything.
Nobody will be able to afford it. So then, but then the number of things you get to choose from goes down too, right? Unless you're like super rich.
What I think they're trying to do is they're trying to make us equal, trying to make people equal to those who are retired. We can't give them too much competition and inflate the price and everything. So we need to work less. So we're semi-retired also, along with the boomers, to be at the same level of spending. That way it makes everything
cheaper. Level of spending. Does that actually make things cheaper, or does it just make everyone hungrier?
This makes everybody poor and hungry, right?
Yeah, that's
like young kids these days, like, they're having a hard time getting full hours. Like, and companies don't want them to work 40 hours, because then they got to pay benefits and all that. If they stay under a certain amount of hours, they don't have to pay the benefits.
See, and this is where unions end up having to come in and do the type of shit that the government should just naturally have already provided and figured out, so that you don't have to fight that way.
That's true.
It's a nutty cycle. So Rankin, how do you fix it?
How do you fix it? Well,
Yeah.
My solution is that they have to raise wages. I mean, you can't print a whole bunch of currency and create inflation and not raise wages at the same time. And so, I mean, and here's the thing: people don't start stimulating the economy by spending money unless they have the income to do it. Yeah. So if your cost of living is going up and your wages aren't going up with the cost of living, you have less consumable, extra cash to spend. And so, and we start feeling that. Every business starts feeling that, because if you're trying to pinch down and tighten your belt, now you can't go out to dinner during the week, the extra time. You can't go do the remodel that you were going to do or vacation that you were planning. And so now that's
how do you combat if everybody's wages go up? How do you combat that? Not just creating some kind of inflation too.
Well, that's a healthy inflation. It's a healthy inflation because people are consuming and spending, and the economy is growing. Yeah. You have a growing economy. Versus the bad inflation is when you just print money. The government just prints money,
and you only give it to banks and institutions.
Yeah, well, but it's still money. It still increases the value. So we have to have a more balanced method of distributing wealth, and the best way to do that is through wages going right. The problem is companies don't like that because they show lower profits.
Yeah, which is like, it's such a weird thing because it's not like they distribute the profits anyway. It's
they want the money they want money to go to the top. It goes to the CEOs. If I don't raise wages, but we raise the price of all of our goods and services, the people at the top get the bonuses and the perks and all the extra money out of it, while the employees stay screwed.
So you're trying to say that the CEOs should get paid less?
In a lot of cases, proportionally to what their employees are making, yeah, probably.
Probably, I agree, but I'm just trying to poke at you because
trying to egg them. Yeah, you're trying to egg them. I like it. No,
that's good. I agree. It's the whole thing is the thing that's nutty is that like we've totally just been completely fine, like with completely unsustainable bullshit, right? Like, and then and like for way too long. And then when it collapses or corrects, people act like shocked, and it's like very common sense 99.9% of the time. But it's also the information, right, and the things the politicians say. Like, both sides of the aisle, you could look at politicians and go, without lying, most of what they say and do are just completely stupid and not actually to the benefit of the people that they do. But then both sides get into this like arms race of lying about it, that then they can point at each other and go like, oh, that's ridiculous. They never did that. And then vice versa. And then when you say something really real, like, hey, this stimulus thing is actually really, really bad because they're giving the people a tiny percentage of what they're giving all the institutions and how much they're printing, like, come back in 6 months, we're all going to be fucked. And people are like, how dare you? We deserve a stimulus. And it's like, yeah, that we do, or wages should be raised, or something needs to be done. Exactly what Rankin just said. But because it becomes this weird political thing, everyone has to act outraged. And guess what? Who wins? Those CEOs and the politicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do tweet about this quite often.
You do.
According to Zuda, you're tweeting all wrong, though.
You're right.
Oh,
no, actually, I don't think you're tweeting all wrong. You just follow too many people.
Nobody sees my tweets. Yes. So I have the wisdom of the world for the world in my tweets, and just nobody hears it. I'm a voice echoing in the wind.
Welcome to the club.
Right? We would have no social problems in society if everybody just followed my tweets. That's and you'd be a hell of a lot wealthier probably in terms of Bitcoin.
Did you guys see?
But if everyone did it, okay, go.
Well, you were going to make another joke, weren't you? You're going to come at it. Did you see how Oracle is now going to be one of the main controllers of TikTok? Because TikTok they're saying it's going to probably stay now.
Finally.
So then Oracle's gonna have obviously Oracle itself.
Yeah.
And they
So
have
like Trump worked Trump worked some deal to let Larry Ellison buy. He's buying half of TikTok or something?
So he's
how's it
going to
gonna
control the software and the data, something on the software and the data side, which kind of makes sense because Oracle. But also remember,
they're given like, oh crap. Am I cutting out or is that Nate?
That might be Nate.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Oracle just bought Paramount as well too.
Paramount?
Yeah, and like
They're buying legacy businesses that are going under and TikTok.
Hey, now I like that. I like that.
Of
course, they're probably selling it for a while.
We didn't have Calculus on here to talk about Paramount. Does he have any insights?
I know. Yeah.
So wait, Paramount selling? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, because it's like Paramount is they have Skydance or Sundance. I think it's
they just sold the Skydance.
Yeah, and Oracle owns Skydance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Oracle is just, it makes kind of sense because Oracle is kind of the monopoly on data for the United States.
So that's what I was going to bring up. I'm glad you bring it up a lot. What I was going to say is, so is this kind of a monopoly that's happening right now that we're seeing right in front of us?
For sure. Well, think about it. It's like the biggest banks and institutions. What?
Well, hey, I will
Jason, aka Baron von Hustle.
GM. So I will say, if you bought Oracle in speculation of them buying Twitter, because this was talked about in the last election when he was last president, you would be up right now 466%. And I know that
you would have had to hold for a few years.
I did. Man. I bought and held.
So you're tuning your own horn. Okay, well,
if you can't beat them, join them. So he spends his whole life talking about decentralizing things, and then he buys shares in the companies centralizing them.
Yeah. So wait, Rankin, you're in
genius.
It's called hedging, bro. It's called hedging.
Genius. It's genius.
Unfortunately, I didn't buy enough. I didn't get wealthy.
And then idiots like me are like, I don't play in the stock market. That's lame. See, we should all just see what happens if you follow Rankin's tweets. You'd get an insight into that crazy brain, and you might end up with some Oracle stock.
Actually, I don't know if I tweeted about that. Let's see. I'm curious.
Between Facebook and Twitter, you had to have said something at some point.
Probably you would think that at one point.
Well, if you were listening here's the thing. If you spent $1,000 on Oracle stock or $1,000 on Bitcoin did a lot more than a few 100% in that time period.
This is true.
That is true.
And Rankin said a lot more things about Bitcoin. So again, if you followed Rankin, even if you ignored the Oracle, you're winning.
You're still winning.
So going back to it. So Oracle they're buying content, right? Mm-hmm. If you're buying Paramount, you're buying content. You're buying the studio that's creating the content, but you're buying an old school model, which is a little weird. But then they're buying TikTok.
You're buying the content though.
Yeah. Well, TikTok is the content engine that gives you access to the data and the people, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And what happened to USA owning it? Is there going to be some kind of sovereign wealth fund that owns a portion of TikTok?
Well, yeah, Oracle is USA, right?
I know, but like if the government actually owns it, then the people actually own it. And then if the people actually own it, who is in charge of the United States if it becomes really, really valuable? Is it the president still, or is it Larry Ellison? If all 100% of my net worth, right? And obviously this is an extreme and kind of stupid argument, but like I'm going down this path. if 100% of my net worth was X stock, right? Then am I in charge of my future? And I don't have the authority to buy or sell that stock, right? It's just I own it, and that's all of my net worth, right? And maybe they give me dividends every once in a while, but probably not, because when do we get money back from the government? Very, very not often, right? Who's more important? Elon Musk be the most important person in my life, because my whole well-being depends on what he decides, right?
Yeah, and what he says.
So,
yeah. Yeah. Well, did you see? It is an interesting point. Did you see that Tesla offered him a potential deal that could make him the first person with $1 trillion in value?
Yeah, it's like it's one of those, like, it's a traditional CEO kind of deal in terms of not the money amount, obviously, but like, is that if you get to certain values, if you make the company worth this much money, this is the bonus you're going to get, right? Which is a totally normal thing. But here's the thing. What's better for Tesla as a company and even the shareholders, if like the culture was what Rankin said, the whole health of the company and the distribution of the company and how many people they employ and pay really, really well, versus, Elon Musk should get a bonus, but $1 trillion, obviously that's like an egregious thing. But here's the thing, is it's kind of diabolical, because the thing that Elon Musk is best at is like the meme marketing stuff, right? Like he'll tweet something about, when the stock of SpaceX hits 420.69, blah, 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 blah. And then the SEC gives him a fine because you're not allowed to speculate on price like that publicly as the person. You have certain responsibilities, whatever. He happily pays the fine because it literally pumps the stock and creates $1 billion of value out of nowhere, right? Is it actually $1 billion of value? Was he able to hire more employees? Did he pay anyone more? No, it's all speculation based on betting on the stock of the company. So it's like a cultural market, just completely fucked kind of system. If there were incentives to go, like, we're going to rank companies now based on how many employees and how happy those employees are and how much they get paid on average because they get to it, then the market becomes a competition to work there and be the best employee versus speculating on a share price that's just gambling.
So now the question is he allowed to do options on the volatility of that tweet? Like, can you buy and sell call or put options, right? Because if you can, that
would be jail time, illegal.
That'd be jail time, right?
Yeah. But
okay,
he's probably good enough to not. He's probably smart enough to not do that, and he doesn't need that money, right?
But the question is, what if all of a sudden we tokenize stocks and those stocks are in a liquidity pool and they generate fees?
They do.
I thought that was being discussed.
That it is being done. That's being done. Like, at least stocks are being tokenized, and what that's doing is creating a competition for the exchanges. Because who makes money off that today? The clearing houses and the exchanges and Robinhood and the whatever. Why can't people make money off that?
Yeah, the crypto DeFi space is like beautiful for that. If people can, like, the volatility of crypto assets like creates fees.
What is really the downside of not allowing liquidity pools in traditional stocks?
Taking away money from these privatized brokerages.
Exactly. They exist. It's just called market makers and banks, and they have not a monopoly, but they own the industry. They have a monopoly on the industry in terms of, like, new incumbents hard to come in. You have to have enough money to come in and participate and play in those worlds, but that's what it is, right? Those big private equity firms and things like that.
The government doesn't work for people anymore. It works for corporations and banks to protect the banks in the large part. I mean, that's the way it is. And that's what's helped stabilize our system. Did you freeze, or do I freeze? Hello? I don't know if I froze or somebody else froze. Did I freeze or did you freeze?
That was weird.
I could hear Rankin the whole time, but
Me
it was
too.
just spinning black. I wonder what's
Okay. No, you guys all froze on my screen.
Yeah, same.
Interesting.
That
you know what it is? They heard us talking. They don't like us talking about banks.
Yeah,
right.
we were talking too much. We said too much the last 10 minutes. We talked about Oracle, Tesla, the banks. Yeah, they're like, nope.
They're like, wait, we need to slow this down.
Well, so
monitoring these conversations.
So the interesting thing is, did you guys see NVIDIA and OpenAI? They're like partnership for like 100 million, or so there's some big partnership they just did.
Yeah.
And the discussion is that I think like an antitrust lawsuit that might come, where now you kind of get to corner the market between like a chip maker and the AI, where you get inside access, and it it prohibits other companies from like a competition side, right? It's a good article and good read from that aspect. And I think some of the times when we see these partnerships like this, we forget.
And it
the last 5 years. Oh, it froze again?
Yeah, you froze.
Oh, dang. All right, well.
So where you're getting at is right, like the chip makers are the most valuable, piece of the puzzle now, because AI. Remember when people used to talk about Bitcoin being bad for the environment? Like all those people vanished when it came to AI, which is like 10 bazillion times worse, right? But especially the LLMs and chat GPTs and stuff like that. So there's a shortage of chips and fast compute power for all of this AI. The more AI is being used, the more is needed. So by doing a deal with them, OpenAI is basically trying to, have an unfair advantage or a business type of unfair advantage to other companies who want to compete, because you can't be as fast, you can't compute as much, you can't do as much with that stuff. But like, I don't know, it's so interesting, and it's so crazy to go like, all of these arguments feel like we're at a crypto conference even 2017, right? 2015, you're talking to somebody about decentralization, and they're saying things like this are going to happen, and you're going, come on, that's extreme, right? We're in a bit of a like, in a bit of a moment right now that's like kind of insane.
Yeah.
In terms of centralized forces, right? Like going from the Oracle talk to the NVIDIA stuff, like it's kind of wild.
Well, what's crazy is we're still under 2 years of when OpenAI launched the GPTs.
That's crazy.
So we're still in the infancy stage of all of this, right? And so like it says that it launched November 6th of 2023. So I mean, that just goes to show how early we still are with so much of this change that's going on, so much of the technology that also hasn't been discovered yet, or it hasn't been brought to its full light yet either. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Rankin?
No, well, I was gonna say something was saying that AI will reach probably close to this power usage as Bitcoin by the end of 2025. It hasn't surpassed it yet, but I mean, we're closely getting there, right?
Shouldn't all these chips and stuff being better actually take less power to do the Bitcoin stuff?
Over time, I mean, the Bitcoin is the ASICs. I don't know if they're utilizing the same processors that the AIs are using.
Why couldn't they?
I mean, they might. The thing is, the ones for Bitcoin have been so like concentrated to do a specific task, to do the calculation for Bitcoin, that I think I don't know if it's the same processor type for the AI is on the Bitcoin.
Yeah, the miners.
Yeah,
we should maybe we should bring the dudes from Titan on, or one of those groups to learn a little more about that. It'd be an interesting topic. But these data centers and companies are becoming a bigger and bigger thing every day, and a lot of those Bitcoin data centers, I've been hearing people who are building data centers to mine Bitcoin keep going back and forth between now the profitability of just providing services for AI companies versus Bitcoin. And it's again, it's like,
well, okay,
we're living in the weirdest future right now.
Yeah.
So where it is offsetting is, so for example, if you were previously Ethereum mining, you could take those GPUs and use those for AI, right? So GPUs and they say GPUs and GPUs and TPUs can be utilized for mining the AI, but the ASIC machines that are used for Bitcoin aren't really for AI.
From a chip side.
Yeah, from the chip side. Yeah. So I mean, you probably have a whole bunch of people who are mining Ethereum now switching over to.
What about the new chips in the iPhones that are supposed to be awesome, and the AirPods and the whatever? Why? I haven't asked anybody about this, but I don't know if you guys know anything about this. Why are the AirPods special? Like, I know I'm like asking in the weirdest way, but like, there's commercials now saying that with the new AirPods, you'll be able to do the like live translation and things like that, right? Like the Babelfish kind of stuff, which is really freaking rad. But what's special about the AirPods? Wouldn't most of the processing be happening like on your phone or on a device, or do they actually have like advanced chips in the AirPods? I don't know if I want that inserted in my ear for long periods of time. Like, it just has to consume a ton of power and like can't be good, right? They're even saying like just the heat that's generated, that tiny bit of elevated heat, is not healthy. But like, seems
that's
weird,
a good question,
right?
No, it's a good question. Yeah, so it's the same thing also with like, right, how the social media algorithm, right? They want the users to be on social media longer and longer, right? The algorithm wants to keep showing you things that are going to increase your watch time. Well, with the Meta glasses, right? If you're walking around with the Meta glasses all day long, and yes, it's a partnership between Meta and Ray-Bans. Okay, that's great, that's cool. But at the end of the day, if you're constantly seeing stuff also in your Meta glasses that are now popping up, and then you're on your phone, that's got to not be a benefit to your eyes, and also what you're doing from in terms of a social consumption.
We're all going to get even way more socially awkward, and we're all going to get even shorter attention spans.
Yeah. I don't know. The glasses are interesting. You know, it's a good question to bring up with the AirPods.
I mean, I always loved the idea of like facial recognition in my glasses, like for a conference, to just go boom, and it just shows your name under you like a subtitle, and just be like, Nate, bro, it's been so long, you know, because I'm terrible with names, and I tried for like a certain period of time, and then I realized at one point I got myself in stupid situations so often that I just have no shame anymore. I meet somebody, I'm like, remind me what your name is again. And then they tell me, and then I go, oh, duh, I'm such an idiot. Like, you know, you meet so many people. Every once in a while, I do that with someone who I definitely should have remembered their name. And the second they say their name, I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot. But with so many emails flying around and DMs, and then hanging out with people on Twitter, and then whatever, you like meet somebody in person, and then you realize like, oh shit, I co-invested with that person in a company, or like I should know that person or whatever. But like, so that would be like, for me, the greatest feature ever for glasses. And that would make me go, okay, maybe glasses it's the right time for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, if you had something in your ear that just like quietly was like, Nate Thompson, CLU, blah, blah, blah. Like just gave you like 4 bullet points each time you walk up to somebody.
Be good to go.
That would be epic too. I don't need to see it, right? Like,
So check this out. Long-term social memory studies suggest that the average person can recognize or recall about 1,500 to 2,000 names and faces over their lifetime. So if you have 4,500 followers or more or something like that, there's no way in hell you're remembering all their names.
Or yeah, we go to a conference and see 1,000 people. Then 6 months later, you do the same thing, and then at a certain point, you start losing your mind trying to. But there's you run into those people that just absolutely can do that, like no problem. Like it's like the politician gene or something. Like they could just look at you and be like, Rankin, how you doing? Good to see you. And like with no name tags, no anything. They're just those people make me so jealous. I don't know how they do it.
Isn't there a study? Go ahead, Rankin.
No, go.
I was going to say, isn't there a study that an easier way to remember someone's name or remember something about them is to say something 3 times, right? Yeah.
Hey, you gotta.
I'm walking in 7. And then I still don't remember.
Yeah, you have to be disciplined about it. I don't know. I used to.
You know what I tell people? I tell people, if you want me to remember your name, you need to show up to more of my meetups.
There you go.
And then I'll remember who you are. If you only come to that meetup every 6 months, I'm not going to remember your name.
Not going to remember.
Yeah. It's what used to be kind of good is back in the day when people actually carried business cards and stuff. I would keep in my badge for conferences. I would keep a pen in my pocket, and then I run into Nate and I'd be like, Nate, DGB, yellow hat, glasses, whatever, like some kind of something. So then when I threw it in the thing, the next day when I'm following up, I'd be like, who the hell is Nate? Oh, yellow hat. Yeah. I remember Nate. And then it triggers the conversation in your head and you can follow up.
Memory cues. Business cards are great memory cues of who that person was.
Yeah.
I still keep
them. Yeah.
We have not made a single business card since we started DGB. Is that something we should do?
I don't know. I think people will look at us funny and go, man, you guys are really old.
Yeah.
Nate, you're going to Pepperdine tomorrow. The most fundables company thing.
Yeah. So anyone
would it
in
have
LA,
benefited you if in your pocket you had 20 business cards?
Probably not. I'd rather just have their personal information on my phone or on their LinkedIn.
Pull the phone out and do the thing.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, but now them saying it, I'm like, is it cool? I don't know. You can do those things like some people do. Rankin, you know what you need? I don't think I would do this, but you would 1000% do this.
Personal flyers?
Not Bobby Lee. What's his brother's name? No. What's his name from Ballet that does the cards, the Ballet crypto cards, like the cards that have Bitcoin on it? We can make custom ones of those. You have a stack of them from the Draper.
Draper does those. Tim Draper does that.
But I'm saying hold on, let's see. Bobby Lee. It was Bobby Lee. I was thinking that Bobby. He's the brother of the Litecoin guy. But Bobby makes these really cool Bitcoin cards that are like hard wallets for Bitcoin. He sells them. They're pretty rad. They're pretty secure in the way they do it. And you can make custom ones. And then you can even batch putting on, like we thought about for one of the conferences, putting like $100 worth of Bitcoin on each of these cards. And then you just get one when you register. And it's like a part of the thing. That would be legit, right? We have cards like that are like weird, that have some kind of novelty. But then you're carrying like 7 pounds worth of cards in your pockets because each card is like a solid piece of metal, Right. That's not fun either. I'm so minimalist now. Sometimes I'd leave the house without even my wallet or anything, just have my phone.
Because wallet's on the phone. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a great way to lose money.
Who carries money? You have money?
Tied to an account?
Tied to an account. What?
Not
can't
cash,
access it. Can't
cash.
access it from my phone. Can access nothing from my phone. I'm so paranoid.
Can't access anything from your phone? I thought you said
No,
I
can't access.
How to use your phone?
Yeah, for like fake money, for government fiat money, and it's not a lot. Like, if you stole my phone in my face, you could buy yourself a latte. But like, like what I'm not talking about. No real accounts are connected to my phone. I'm so paranoid because of everything.
Good, I made you paranoid. Awesome.
What?
I made you extra paranoid.
Exactly. And these are the things you learn from following Rankin on
Twitter. Exactly. Yeah. That's the theme of this call. That's the theme of this call.
It might be the theme of all from now on. It's just go, and this is why you need to follow Rankin on Twitter.
He's been
guys. We got like 3-4 minutes left. I have to hop to another call at 11. So any last things?
Yes.
This has been all over the place, going over the news and things like that. Next week we got Calypto. That's gonna be awesome.
We have over $7 trillion in money market funds sitting on the sidelines. We're waiting for them to continue to lower rates, and as they do, those people in money market funds are going to be looking for yield. And there's only going to be so many places they can go. And so that's going to be where the market gets interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Coming up the next couple of months.
All right. That's good. So if you are and aside from following Rankin on Twitter, make sure you go to dgb.vc and sign up on the newsletter. We'll be sharing some of our portfolio companies and interesting things happening on the newsletter there, and where you can find us, what you can do. Nate, any last things from you?
If you're in LA, come out tomorrow for Pepperdine's Most Fundable Companies competition.
Is that going to be at their campus in Malibu, or is it?
At the campus in Malibu. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's not a bad place to go hang out. Yeah, go look it up and get yourself a ticket, because it's a great event. The people who run the Pepperdine events are awesome. Amy Wood and the whole crew.
Real quick,
yeah.
Nate, where are you going to be this weekend?
This weekend, Vegas.
With
for Appraisal Institute.
Oh,
yeah. So
we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Hit up the Appraisal Institute.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep, Appraisal Institute. Yeah, Appraisal Institute conference. Yeah, in Las Vegas.
All right, so maybe next week. Are you going to be on next week then, or we're doing Calypto next week? But the following week we'll talk real estate. Let's make the topic next week is music. The following week is going to be real estate tech. Let's have a hang session on that. Maybe we can get Ivory in, or Nate can talk Ivory, since he's been their wingman now for a few of these conferences, and maybe we'll talk about Lit Financial. Let's talk real estate tech. All right, cool. All right, everyone, have an awesome week, and see you all next week.
Perfect.
Good. Take care.